Hey guys, it's Sylvia from Frolic Through Life, and I'm here to tell you why you need to sign up for the next Spartan race in your area. So, today is Monday. Yesterday, on June 2nd, I did the Tri-State Spartan Sprint in Tuxedo, New York. It was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, aside from childbirth. I honestly didn't really know what I was getting myself into. When I heard Spartan race, I thought, okay, it's a run in the mud, there's some obstacles, whatever, not too bad. It's not going to be too hard, 4 miles, not that huge of a distance. But yeah, as soon as we got there, I think me and Mikey, Tommy's brother who did the race with me, realized that we were really in for something that we didn't expect. The race took place on Tuxedo Mountain, which is a ski mountain. And basically the whole race was just going up and down the mountain. Like, you know, when you go skiing, to go up the lift, you come down. We were basically trekking up and down the mountain, and there were obstacles that we had to go through, and it was just nuts. I think that a Spartan race is really a true test of your endurance and of your strength and everything. I know people can run marathons and they're awesome runners, but this is really quite like nothing else I've ever done before. I've done my share of runs, although I haven't done anything more than a 10K, but after this I feel like half marathon training, that's really not that huge of a deal if I could do something like this. The race started with us going uphill, basically straight up, after running through a huge pool of muddy water and getting sprayed down with water. And it was just treks up and down. At every mile there was a sign that said you have 3 miles left to go, you have 2 miles left to go, you have a mile left to go. And it was funny, we didn't know that there would be those signs. They were just arrows that showed where you had to go with, along the route, as well as like a caution tape that said the Spartan race to like block you off from going off the trails. And when we got to the first sign that said we have 3 miles left, we had been sure that we had been halfway done with the race by that point. And when we saw that sign, we were like, holy crap, this is going to take us a really long time. Another thing that I found really cool in regards to this race, as opposed to like a road race, was since you're going through water and mud and all sorts of obstacles, you don't bring any electronics with you. Neither of us wore a watch, you didn't have our phones, I didn't wear my Garmin. And we didn't know how long we had been up there. It was funny, we were walking along and at one point I was like, I wonder how long, you know, we've been here. Has it been like an hour? Has it been 4 hours? You're just trekking through the woods. It's like you're in a different world. And you're just going and going. And then once we got to some of the obstacles at the bottom of the hill, we were right near the finish line. We had heard that, I believe, like the 12:30 heat was going. And we were only like, I don't know, maybe a third of the way done with the race, and already an hour had passed. And then we had to trek up and down the hill, like, I think at least 3 or 4 more times after that. The obstacles were honestly a lot harder than I thought. I had gotten a map of the course sent to me by Christopher Thompson from Reebok the week before the race, and I looked through it and I was like, oh, not bad, whatever, log hops, wall climbs, this, that, the other thing. I was like, oh, we can do this. It was really hard. You know that you're really hooked on something when you just can't finish saying that that was the hardest freaking thing you've ever done in your life. And as soon as you get to the car and changed, you're looking for the next race to sign up for, because that's what happened. After we hosed ourselves off, we changed by the car. I don't know how, but I was wearing like capris, like black, you know, whatever, workout capris, and they were full of rocks, so I'm really not sure how the heck all those rocks got in my pants, but it was the most uncomfortable thing towards the end of the race because my pants were just full of mud and rocks and it was kind of disgusting. But all that aside, as soon as we got in the car, we started driving, Mikey was like, when's the next race? And we started looking, and the next one in our area is actually in Pennsylvania, and on July, I think 16th and 17th, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna sign up and we're gonna do it all over again. Except I think I'm even a little bit more scared because Blue Mountain, where the Pennsylvania race is taking place, is a lot steeper of a mountain than Tuxedo was. Tommy also told us that it's like the steepest mountain in all of Pennsylvania, which will make things interesting, but it was such a freaking amazing experience that I can't wait to do it all over again. I have scratches everywhere, my arms, my legs. Usually when I get a bruise, like when I hit myself somewhere, the bruise shows up, you know, 2 or 3 days later. I came home with like these huge bruises all over my body. But it's just crossing that finish line. The last obstacle was jumping over the fire. Jumping over that fire and sprinting on the hill was like a feeling like no other. It was really something, it was like, wow. Like, I just freaking did this. It took me almost 3 hours, and I really took everything I had. It was climbing up friggin' rocks, like full-on rock climbing. There was no road. You just had to pull yourself up. It was running down steep hills. We saw a lot of people wipe out. We saw a girl with a twisted ankle doing it. She was doing through the race. She didn't want to give up with her boyfriend. He was helping her walk. Tons of inspirational people. There was a group with a woman who had some sort of brittle bone disorder, and she was doing it on crutches with a whole group of people. At one point we had met up with them, and one of the people in her group was carrying, he was wearing a 40-pound vest and carrying a keg, and he passed off the keg to Mikey. So for part of the race, Mikey carried that keg, I guess to symbolize how much harder it is for certain people, and they're still doing it. But it was really a life-changing experience. And I was really surprised by how friendly people were. They were willing to give you a boost. At one point I couldn't get up some wall and some random guy came up and helped me, and Tommy had caught the picture and Mikey was going through the shots, and he goes, I don't know, he said something along the lines of, you know, you're doing something crazy when some other guy is touching your butt and your boyfriend takes a picture of it and he's totally fine with it. But without that guy's help, without him pushing up that wall, I would have been stuck doing burpees. So yeah, it changes you. It gives you kind of a new outlook on life, and it's like you're in a different world when you're doing it. It's just walking through the woods and you're just kind of, you know, step by step, moment by moment, just trying to push through it. You don't want to stop too often. We drank water out of some sort of pond. We later found out there was a huge shower set up at one point along the race for you to hose yourself off from the mud, and there was a big sign that said do not drink, but I was so freaking thirsty. And I drank the water, and then somewhere else along the route, somebody had told us, one of the volunteers, that that water is being pumped in from some sort of stream. So yeah, you do crazy things when you're out there. We also forgot to wear sunscreen that day because we are geniuses. I had gotten a friggin' sunburn on Friday at the beach with Alex, and then Sunday going to a whole day event, I forgot to bring sunscreen again. But along the route we found sunscreen, and I just picked it up off the ground, and we were so happy. We friggin' slathered it all over ourselves like, you know, it was nothing. And it was, somebody had lost it along the route. So whoever, if you lost sunscreen at Tuxedo on Sunday, thank you. You are a lifesaver, because I am not burnt to a crisp right now. If you're on the fence about doing one of these races, be it a Spartan or a Tough Mudder or anything like that, I encourage you to go for it. It really, 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 I can't stress enough, gives you a whole different perspective on life, shows you how strong you really are, and it's just like nothing else you've done before. If you've done road races and you're thinking, oh, this won't be bad, it'll be horrible. It'll push you to your extremes, it'll take you to your limits, but when you're done and they give you that medal and you cross that finish line, you will have a feeling like no other. You're going to be so proud of yourself, and you're going to feel so badass, and nothing is going to matter afterwards. So if you're on the fence, or if you've never even thought about doing a Spartan race, I highly recommend it. So right now, go to the website, check when the next one in your area is, and freaking sign up. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you want to hear more about my Spartan experience. I have a couple more videos planned, and thanks, bye bye.